Okay, now, good. All right, good evening, Prakashji. Good evening, everybody. Now, everybody must be wondering, what is this special class all about? And why they were saying that this is going to be one of the most important class that we ever had in PPMM. Now, before I even share what is the topic and why we're going to share and talk about that, let me first tell you a little bit about why we're having this class. Okay, this session is not the all hands session, the typical session that we've had in the past. Last few months or maybe a few weeks, I don't know, I've been observing a few things and I've understood there are different patterns of how we all react, how we all behave. And I wanted to come live and I wanted to share some of my thoughts because today's session is going to help you in your business, because all of you are going to have either you're going to have your set of mentees or already you have those set of mentees, and you will experience exactly what I've experienced in the last 12 months. And when I look back, I was observing a lot of patterns. Okay, there are a lot of patterns which are coming up. And I got to realize that we human beings, we are actually two types of beings, or not two types, but there are two things which is really, really peculiar about all human beings. One is we are emotional being, and second, we are social being. So today's class is all about the human psychology, how people think, and how people act and why people act. So considering all my personal experiences, things that I've learned from my experiences and from all the books, from the videos, from the courses, I'm actually going to integrate all those things, and I'm going to share all those things with you because I want you to be ready. These things, if you've not faced in the past or if you have not dealt with in the past, you will deal with those things pretty soon. So what are those things? I was talking about the pattern, right? What is that pattern? I've identified that there are three different sets of people. Could be groups, could not be groups, but I've identified there are three different sets of people, whether outside or whether in this community. So let's talk about this Passionpreneur community. What are those three set of people in our community? So let me just write this. Tell me which one is looking better, okay? Is it black or is it red? Which one is actually better? Which one is looking better? I think it's black. Black? Okay, cool. Excuse my spelling, as you know, I'm not good at spelling. Okay, so we are talking about human behavior and how people think and act in certain situation. Now we all know we humans, number one, we are emotional being. We associate a lot of things, a lot of events with our emotions. We act in emotions, we behave emotionally, we are bound to take a lot of things based on the emotion. And this emotion is beyond sales, what Yatiji teaches, right? People don't buy because of logic, but emotion. It is so true. So everything that we do in our life, it is based on the emotions. Oops. It's based on the emotions. And that is what we're going to talk about. And based on that emotions, I can see there are three different sets. Emotions plus being social being, there are different groups and different sets which have been formed. So set number one, okay? Okay. So there are three set of people, especially in passionpreneurs, that has been formed. Who are those people and what are those sets? Number one, these are the people I call pro or positive. Then there is second set of people, okay? They are probably neutral. Then there is a next set of people. They are, I would actually call them negative. Now, people think that, we can talk a lot of things, we can do a lot of things, and it's just within us. And people will not understand, others will not understand. Now, people forget that there are people who understand more than what they say in front of people and do behind the back. Okay? If I have reached here, certainly I've understood few things and understood people better. Okay? The hardest thing for anybody, right, whether in business or anything in personal life, is to understand human behavior. Okay? I didn't understand all this when I started my journey. But as I evolved, as I've dealt with people over a period of time, I've understood how people behave in a certain way. So people think that they will not know what is happening in the background. So here's what has happened. These are the people who are negative, who have negative approach towards others, negative approach towards their life. Everything that is happening is all negative for them. Camera, okay, is camera okay for others? Yeah, cool. Yeah, just DJ, just select me in the video, okay? Not focused. What do you mean not focused? Okay. So don't worry, if the video is not focused, don't worry, little blur. I don't know. It's probably because of the proximity. Okay, but don't worry about it, okay? Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Even if you're not able to read, just listen to what I'm saying. So these are the set of people. Now what is happening is, when in life we don't get the results, I mean, first of all, let's just step back. I truly believe that human beings usually are good. Most of the people are usually good. There's no denial of that. But there are certain situations, certain circumstances, they actually make people behave in certain way. Now, not necessarily people in the set 3 are bad, but because of certain circumstances or certain things, they act in a different way, which comes across as negative. Okay? So anybody, why do you think that people behave in certain way? We will come to these and these two later, but let's just talk about this. Why? Why do you think people actually behave in a certain way? Anybody? Just put in the chat box. Anybody, why do you think people act in a certain way? Could be upbringing, okay. What else? Hard conditioning, okay, good. What else? Perception, yes, okay, good. Influence of others, yes. Beliefs and programming, yes. Environment, yes. Their experiences, yes. Past experiences, yes. Beliefs and value, okay, yes. Inferiority complex, okay. All of that is good. Okay, let me ask you this. How do people, how do people behave? What decides whether people will be happy or not? What is it that decides that I can be happy or not? Is it money? Is it money? Like if I have a lot of money, would I be happy? Perception? Very interesting point, Nyanesh. So let's talk about money. So do you think money is something which will make somebody happy? The answer is no. No. Money does not make somebody happy. Like, are there people who have lots of money and they're still not happy? Yes. Are there people who have no money or less money, but they're still happy? Yes. So we understand that money is something which does not decide whether you are happy or not. Okay. What about some incident? Let's say some incident happens to you in your life. Does that decide whether you will be happy in that moment or not? Who agrees? Does that incident, one incident that happens in life, would that decide whether I'm happy or not? Yes? Who says yes? In that moment? Okay. Partially yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Perspective. That's very, very good. Good one. Good one. So the event actually does not decide whether you will be happy or not. Okay. Let's say if I'm walking on the road, if I lose my wallet, would I be happy or upset? It really depends. Maybe for a moment, yes. But that event does not decide. If I choose to be happy even in that event does not decide. So it's not really the event which actually decides whether you'll be happy or not. It is how you interpret that event which decides whether you're going to be happy or not. Same way, any event or some incident or some situation that has happened in your life, your perception of that situation decides whether you're going to be happy, whether you're going to be positive or negative. So event itself has no power. The way you interpret that event has a power. How many of you agree to that? Yes? Yes, agree to that? So event has no power. But how you interpret is what decides whether I'm happy or not. Okay? Yes? Yes? Absolutely. Okay, good. So reaction or interpretation. So the reaction or interpretation of an event makes you happy or sad. And most of the time, people who are sad, they are sad because they experience loss. I repeat, when somebody experiences a loss because of a certain event, because they interpret that event as a loss, that's when people are unhappy or negative about that situation. So loss of what? It could be loss of a physical materialistic things, or it could be mental or some intangible things. Loss of love, loss of respect, loss of anything, right? That's what actually starts happening because your event, you feel that there is a loss of something, you feel that pain and you become negative. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're running a workshop, okay? And you have, let's say, 50 people registered. 40 people show up. At the end of the workshop or a webinar, you ask them, so how many people are interested? Let's say you have 0 conversion. Now I know a lot of you can relate to this. There is an event, okay, not the workshop, but there something happened, the event happened, and you do not have any registration. Would you feel happy or sad? Most of the time, people will feel sad because they associated that their effort has been lost, or the money that you were anticipating that there will be at least out of 40 people, maybe 4 people will be interested and they'll buy my program. So your expectation is what decides, right? Make a note of this. Your expectation. So the big key word is now be with me, okay? Be with me. This is very deep. This is very deep. Very few people understand the surface level, but to truly understand and feel it and imbibe in their life is very, very few people actually have that kind of patience to understand and go deep, okay? So be with me. Yes, yes. So the loss for that person, he's feeling the loss that, man, I lost my 4 registration. I lost this workshop. Guess what? You didn't even have anybody. How can you lose something that you did not even have? But the problem is, it is the expectation which actually hurts the most. It is the expectation of you having 4 people that you will register is the loss. Okay, you associated that expectation not met, so you associated that with the loss. So in short, the event actually defined whether you will be happy or not because you interpreted that event in a loss. At the same time, there's another person who does the same event. 40 people show up and 0 registration. But you know what? The person is not angry or upset. Because he said, you know what? This is my first webinar. This is my first workshop. I do not expect anybody to sign up. So when there is no expectation, how can I be hurt? Same thing in a relationship. Okay? Same thing in a relationship. Why do we feel that the person does not respect me? Like, for example, somebody said that, "Are ye leke aao na?" Something. Okay? And you you interpreted that the person is being rude. That means it's a loss of respect. Maybe the person was in pain and he had no intention behind that. But since your expectation was the person should talk nicely to me every time he speaks with me, I lost my respect. There's a loss. So expectation, whenever the expectation is not met, you feel the loss of whatever you were expecting and you feel the pain. Either you go into the negative zone or you feel bad. And here's what starts to happen. Here's what starts to happen. What you will do is, as I told you, humans are emotional being and social being. So what happened is you got emotional now. Your emotions are aroused. You felt bad. Okay. Same thing. You felt cheated. Right? How many of you have felt that? Like you invested your money somewhere in something, expecting the high return on investment, but it did not come. You felt cheated. You felt cheated, right? It's not because the incident. It is because your expectation was so high that the loss, you took it personally and you felt cheated. That is how we are, the emotional beings. And then what will happen? We will use that emotion, the negative emotion, okay? And you will freeze because your expectations are not being met. You go into down the drain. You're feeling negative. You're feeling bad. And you keep feeling bad and bad and bad and bad. Now, when that happens, because here's what happens. Your emotions, which is your, let me just, can I find some space? Okay, let me just rub this part, okay, for now. So what happens is your emotions, your E, okay, leads to the feeling, okay? And the feeling leads, we all know it. Feeling leads to what? Feeling leads to what? The action. If you're feeling, your emotions are low, if you're feeling low, your action will be low. And then what happens? The output, which you're supposed to have, will also be low. Okay? And if the output is low, what happens? You go here again you become emotional again low, your feeling again low, your action again low, and then output again low. So you see, this is the vicious circle. This is a vicious circle people get caught up in. And now, who is the culprit? As human beings, let's accept it. We have big ego or our nature that when we are not able to get the results, when we are down, when we are negative, we look for a shadow to hide or some shadow to blame. And we start blame game. As I told you, emotional being, social being. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to be lonely. We are in the back. So what happens is, you know what? This incident happened to me because of that person, because of this event, because of this thing. You try to hide your own shortcoming with somebody else, point fingers at someone, and guess what happens? You go and moan and bitch about that person or the event to somebody. And guess what? That somebody is who? Somebody is who? Just somebody exactly like you. Somebody who has the frequency which matches with you. Everybody's got frequency. Everybody's radiating their frequency. Everybody's got their aura. Somebody's radiating positive frequency. Somebody's radiating negative frequency. Maybe some people are a little neutral, but somebody is doing positive, somebody is negative. So what happens when I'm really low? What kind of energy and frequency I'm sending? I'm sending negative frequency. And who would the negative person frequency would match with? Of course, negative and positive will not match. Okay, because the positive guys, you know what? I don't want to talk to you. Get rid of do your thing, man. Let me do whatever thing. The positive person could be the same person said, you know what? There was zero incident. I mean, zero registration at the workshop. You know what? It's okay. I'm going to try again. Okay, it's my fault. I take the ownership. Take the ownership. I go back, fix, and do it again. Again, I fine tune, learn, do it again. The person who did not get the result for the first time or second time, who's negative and putting things on the air, it will detract. He'll say, you know what? I don't want to listen to you. I don't listen to you. Let me do my own thing. But the problem is, everybody is not that positive. Everybody is not that strong. Everybody is not that mature. And the true character shows up of a person in two situations. When you are really, really down and when you have nothing, everything is going against you, that is when your true character shows up. And that character actually engulfs you and your real personality. And what happens then is you go looking for other people. This positive person did not listen to me. Nah. You know what? I don't want to listen to you. What happens is I go to the other person who also has felt the similar pain or some incident or some event, and I start sharing my feeling with that person, right? And then what the negative person say, you know what? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You know what? Actually, you're right. This incident is bad. That person is bad. And what happens then? Then negative energy multiplies. It multiplies. Now, in this negative and positive fight, what happens? In the negative and positive fights, there are the people, right? So positive people, the negative people, because they've gone to some negative event or incident, their reaction, they try and actually influence them. But then they realize, yahan to dal nahi gal rahi hai. The person is positive. Okay, so what they do is they look for negative people again. Okay, form a group, as I say, social being, right? They form the group, they form the circle, they start jamming, and they try to increase the circle, right? It's like, ye to mera mission hai against somebody or some incident. They just keep jamming, and then they try to increase their community, because together we are strong, right? Together we are strong. So if you're negative, you're strong, and the negative energy spreads fast. So what happens is, these people, set two people who are not so negative, not so positive either, but they're neutral. Okay, they're neutral. They are just like somebody sitting on a seashore, right? What happens on a seesaw? They're like this. One person is sitting here. So here's positive feeling, here's negative feeling. Sorry, my handwriting is not that good. these people bechare, they're already going up and down with their own feeling and their own action because they are having their own interpretation. Kabhi positive hota hai, kabhi negative hota hai. So when they start doing this, what happens? What happens? जब ये पॉजिटिव का भार ज्यादा होता है तो इट्स फाइन, बट क्या होता है ना, नेगेटिविटी ज्यादा 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 वेट, यहां पे ज्यादा ज्यादा वेट आने लगता है. So they're always down. They're always down. Because what happens then is they get stuck. They get stuck. They get influenced easily. Influenced easily. And these people, they take advantage of these people. And guess what? They are going down the drain. Okay? Can you imagine somebody having that negative thoughts, negative belief, negative interpretation? They will grow in life? Hell no. Okay? They will go down the drain. Now, whether they're down because of their own negativity or is their ego which is working for somebody, against somebody, still it's a negative feeling. Okay? So let me list down. What is the characteristic of these people? Okay? What are the characteristics? So if somebody's negative, person, what kind of emotions they're feeling? What are the emotions? Just put in the chat box. If I'm negative for somebody or some incident, what kind of emotions am I feeling? Just put in the chat box. Ego, yes. Fear. Anger, yes. Yes, definitely anger. What else? Jealousy, yes. Cheated, yes. What else? What else? There are tons. There are tons. How about disappointed? Yes, disappointed. All these emotions starts to creep in, and then they form one more thing, by the way. Inferiority complex, yes. Yes, and they form lonely, absolutely true. They're lonely. See, they build the group, but group is not going to stay there forever, right? When they go home and they do on their own thing, again, they feel lonely. They feel depressed, okay? And they feel, one of the important aspects they feel is entitlement. Right? Entitled. Let me say entitled. They feel entitled, okay? That somebody should come and bring them up. Somebody should come and, take them away from the misery. But guess what? They still keep playing the victim game. And they feel, what? I deserve better. I deserve more. I have worked really hard. I did the workshop. Nobody signed up. I'm entitled. People should sign up. People should pay me. But guess what? Nobody's coming for your rescue. You know why? Because you build such a negative bubble around you, the negative environment around you, that's not even making you think positive. And this is what is happening. I really feel bad. I really feel bad. Why am I sharing all this with you? Because this is exactly what has happened in Passionpreneur. Okay? There are a set of people who have become negative. Now, again, I say, people are not bad. It is the circumstances which has made them bad. Maybe there is an epicenter. Maybe there is a one person who is negative, a rotten apple. And that person is influencing other people. And then when that person, I don't know why that person, probably that's how their nature is. They feel good. There are some people wired in such a way, unko aag lagane mein maza aata hai. They just, they won't do that and they just, see the tamasha. Mera kya jata hai? Mera to sab theek hai na. Mera to sab acha chal raha hai. Arey, tere ko nahi mila. Arey, you should do that. Arey, tere ko ye nahi mila. You should do that. Arey, he was supposed to do this. She was supposed to do this. Arey, I feel so bad. You know what? You should do it. They try to show you that they're your supportive. But you know what? They are your biggest enemy. Why? Because they're making you feel what? Miserable. They're giving you the sense of entitlement. And then your negative feeling just amplifies. And what happens? Your life starts to rotten in that negative environment because you are associated with those negative people. And that's exactly what I observed. Okay, you think I don't understand what is happening in Passionpreneur? I know more than all of you. I am your mentor. I am your guru. I know what you guys are up to. Whether somebody says to me anything or doesn't say, I understand. Birds of the same feather flock together, right? So I can gauge what is happening. I can gauge what is happening and who is doing that. But guess what? First, I want to do this way for people who are at least in the set 2. Okay? Set 1, I am not worried about them. They are pro, they're positive, they're mature. Nobody can influence them. I'm not worried about them. They understand. A lot of people came for this Passionpreneur Mastermind. Now they felt disappointed because they had huge expectation from this, that my life will change. But guess what? Life does not change like this. If it was easy, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would have changed their life. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of effort to change your life. Now, expectation. Let's talk a little bit about expectation. Okay? The expectation has hurt a lot of people. They're not ready to understand that everybody has to, get up to that level and start living up to their own standard. A lot of people came with the expectation that it is going to be easy. It's going to be easy if I just do this. Guess what? That's a wrong assumption. So in short, people did not have patience. Okay, the lack of patience is one of the reason people fail. People fail. Lack of patience, as they say, right? We overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. When people look at what, a lot of people must be thinking passionpreneur, right? It's all great, ye wo, but mera kya hua? What do you mean? Guaranteed that this is the only program, is the only mentorship where people have transformed their life going from 9 to 5 to making money. There is no program in India or even go abroad who can actually give you hand-holding and show you step by step. You go from nobody in business world to start making money. How many results have we produced so far? So if people bitch and moan about the passionpreneur, mere ko ye value nahi mila, ye nahi mila, Dev ne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya, they're forgetting Dev has been equal to everybody. It is you, your action, your accountability, and how you interpreted events is keeping you where you are. It's not Dev. If there are some set of people who got great success and some people who have not got great success, you think Dev is the failure or is the program the failure? No. If that was the case, nobody would have got success. Nobody would have got success. Now, expectation again kills. And this is my fault. Okay, this is my fault as well. Because look, I was new to this. And I was also learning with you guys, and I've been always open and transparent with you guys that, you know what, I'm also learning. But there are definitely few things which I did not do well. Okay. At one side, definitely there was a lot of expectation from me. And when the expectation was not met, people felt the pain and then started, things I'm sure you would have assumed. Dev kya badal gaya hai, Dev has become too busy, Dev has become money minded, Dev has, he's become this, he's forgot everything, ye wo, Dev has probably got ego, or Dev is selfish, or Dev is, supporting some people, not supporting others, poor me. All these things have come. Kahan se aaya hai ye? Ye kahan se aaya hai? Despite me being so open and transparent and sharing my heart with all of you guys, I've sat with each one of you to fine tune your presentation, looked at your presentation, how to create a content, how to make a video, everything I've taught. At the end of the day, here's one thing which I've understood that I've not done well. Number one is, I think I have learned my lesson. And I'm sharing all this, not because, I'm angry or upset anybody. I'm sharing this because I am really worried and I feel sorry for a lot of people. And especially this side of people are set to, people who are neutral. They want to do a lot of things in their lives. But what is happening is they get influenced easily by some other negative people. And then they get stuck and they start being negative. So what happens when people start talking negative, the environment is negative, energy is negative, their action is again same. That is number one I've learned is I think I've become too personal. Okay, I've become too personal with a lot of people and I considered this as my family and I still do, but I was wrong. Not everybody is ready to have a family like this. Not everybody. Okay. So when I became too personal with a lot of people had that level of mutual respect and all that and nobody broke the boundary. But some people, they feel, oh, Dev to mera badi hai, bhai hai, jo bhi hai, dost hai, I know Dave can do anything, anytime, he's always accessible. But then when Dave is not there, when the Passionpreneur gets over, a lot of people feel that, what, Dave badal gaya hai. Now he's not accessible. Now where is this coming from? Is the expectation. Okay. So one, I should have not got too personal, but a lot of people may have thought that why Dave did his, workshop at his place. I opened all my, house to all of you guys to help you to save money. Number two, to have better bonding. Number three, we can have as much time as we want. For who? Not for me. It was painful for me to open the house and have everybody here. Okay. It's not easy. But I realized that was a mistake. I got too personal. I mixed my personal life and a professional life. So when you have your batch and people, don't mix these two life. Okay, don't mix two life. Because what happens is when you do that, people take you for granted. Okay, there is the breach which happens between a professional relationship, because yes, there is, we cannot deny. Of course, we are like family, all of us, but there is a professional relationship as well that gets broken. Okay, I got too personal in your life as well. Like, even talking about your relationship. As a mentor, I thought it's my duty, and I still don't regret that. But some people don't value it. If I would have maintained the professional relationship, this would have not happened. Lesson learned. Okay. Number two, accountability. Yes, I could have done a better job in having accountability, right? Could have had more sheets. Guess what? I'm also still learning. But if I look back, somebody who really, really wants to do well, they will hold themselves accountable. Right? Here's the mindset part. And most of this is mindset, by the way, whatever I'm teaching you guys. If you're not where you want to be, is because of your own mindset and all your belief. It's not about the skills. I've given you all the skills that you needed. But some thrived because they had the right mindset. They had the right belief system that supported and conducive to elevate them. Okay. But some people were like, no, I still want accountability to come from Dave. I want sheets. I want hacks. I want templates. No. 9 to 5 is different than being a businessman. Okay. Can you imagine who was there for me to hold me accountable? Nobody. Okay. I did not even have access to anybody who I could not even brainstorm with anybody. Now you guys had not only people to brainstorm with, but you had a mentor to guide you, coach you, and mentor you. Despite that, if it's not happening, then I don't know what to do, right? I don't know what to do. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm great. And that is the reason why you started this journey. You got the benefit of me spending more time with you, being flexible with you, and even, charge also cost was very less. If I was perfect, you would have paid probably 3 or 4 times more money. You would have had only limited access to me. Maybe you would have had better accountability. But this is the second thing I learned. Number 3 I learned is expectation management. I think I did not articulate things really, really well. The expectation, I think people expected everything from everyone. And somewhere I think I have even spoiled a lot of people, because when they go to outside world or in the business world, because I know it, most of you, this is probably, except for few, most of you, this is your biggest investment ever. Okay. This is the biggest investment ever in the mentorship program. So what happens is when you're going outside, typically you will compare the access, the hand holding that you had with me with others, but that actually does not help. People will not give you hand holding. People will not teach you the way I've taught you guys. Right? So these are the 3 things, the major things I've learned. Okay. Now, how do we solve this, or what is the root cause of this? Expectation is one of them. Okay. How can it be solved? How can this be solved? The key lesson to all this is only one word. Communication. Communication. So, communication. Communication with who? Communication with, more than the outside world, your communication with yourself. That is the most important aspect, because what you tell yourself, what you convince yourself, it forms your belief system. And again, the cycle continues. Your communication leads you to feel a certain way. And that feeling again leads you to take action a certain way. And the action again results in output. And output again goes to feeling. So the communication, the way you're communicating with yourself is the most important aspect. So how are you communicating with yourself? Are you thinking negative? Are you thinking that you are less? Are you thinking entitlement, that I should have got this, I should have this? All these things, if you're communicating with yourself in your mind in a negative form, guess what? Your results will not be positive. They say, right? Beej boya babul ka, to aam kahan se paaye? If you're actually sowing these thorns, how would you get mangoes in life? So internal communication is very, very, very critical, because you sleep with yourself, you wake up, with yourself everywhere you are. So just pay attention to what are your thoughts, what are you communicating. That's the most important aspect. Now, there are few people who are really good at it, okay, that they will communicate themselves with very positive manner. Kuch bahar se bhi aa raha hai na, to their internal communication is so strong that it will ripple off. Okay, and there are few of you guys, I know you guys, but guess what? Everybody is not that strong. So the second form of communication, which is the external communication. What does the external communication consist of? The number one, the most important aspect is the people around you. Now, pay attention to who are you hanging around with? Who are you listening to? Who are you validating your ideas with? Right? And especially when the times are tough, be careful who you're talking to. Okay? Because people who make you feel miserable and terrible, most likely they are the most deadliest. And this is exactly what happens, because we feel comfort with those people because our energy is matching with them. They go in, अरे यार मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं हुआ, देव ने ऐसा नहीं किया, देव ने ऐसा प्रॉमिस किया था पर ये तो नहीं हुआ, वो तो नहीं हुआ, अरे हाँ या you're right, तुम्हारी तो कोई गलती नहीं है, उसने किया ना चाहिए, उसने किया. Then what happens? You feel more miserable, more negative, more entitlement, more expectations are not met, more broken, and you interpret those incidents and events negative, and you again stay down. Okay, so pay attention to the communication. Number one, get rid of the people who feel sorry for you. Okay, you want a friend who should tell you in your face, you know what, shut the fuck up and listen to yourself. Stop whining and bitching about people and stop being victim. Get your game up, be positive, get and take more action. Make 100 videos and then tell that, you know what, Dev ne ye support nahi kiya. Make 100 articles and then say, you know what, Dev ne ye nahi sikhaya. Write your goals and mission, vision and savers 100 days and then say, you know what, Dev ne ye nahi sikhaya. Because Dev is not going to be responsible for your life. You are the only one responsible for your life. People will come, people will go. Some will be with you, some will not be with you. But guess what? You are your best friend or you are your best enemy. You got to decide, who do you want to be? Okay? And if you really want to be your friend, get rid of those people who make you feel miserable and makes you feel that you are a victim. You don't need them. Okay? The important part is when we're communicating with this word, with these things as well, there are two forms of communication. Okay? This is very deep again. What is this two form of communication? The first one is the loving response. Okay? First form is loving response. The second form is act of any. What is the second form? Second form is cry for help. These are the only two communication forms. So when somebody's yelling at you, angry at you, doesn't mean that a person is upset with you. What kind of response is it there? Okay? Type in the chat box. If somebody's angry, upset with you, what form of response is that? Just put in the chat box. Yes. Yes, second type. Cry for help. Cry for help. And typically, how we respond to cry for help is we also have cry for help. And this is what clashes. Okay? where you say, you know what, mere saath ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua, I hate this, I hate this. The other person will say, you know what, you're right, the person is this, this. Guess what? The other person also is crying for help. It's a cry for help. Upset, both cry for help. The other person's response should be loving response. You know what? I understand how you're feeling this way. How can this be better? How can this be, better? How can I make this better? Or how can anybody make it better? Let's talk about that. That is loving response. That you care. You care for other people. But most of the time, as a human beings, as we know our behavior, we don't have loving response then. We go for cry for help again. Somebody's crying for help, you're also crying for help. Guess what happens? More cry for help, and then group starts to form, community starts to form, and then that community and group start infecting others. And even if the set one people, even if they're so strong, but if somebody's coming back to them again and again and again with the negativity and negative thoughts, cry for help or whatever it is, they will get infected. They will get infected. And guess what? People then stop communicating, stop talking. What is the solution? Talk to your mentor. If there is some feeling that you have, be mature and say, you know what, Dave, this is the incident that happened and I felt this way. Like event, your interpretation. I felt this way. I don't know. I just thought I'll talk to you. Was that the case? Simple, right? Because you're interpreting certain things in your way that just keeping you the place you are. Honestly, all these things would not change in my life. My life will go on. The reason why I did not need to do this session. I didn't need to do this session because my life is going great. I'm going to Nepal. I'm going to, and I already have this, third batch running. I have PPMTs. Guess what? These negative beliefs, I'm sure somewhere it would have influenced a lot of people. It would have raised some negativity against me, could be even Ron Malhotra, could be against PPMT, right? Somebody would have said something, ye ho jayega. What about you, your business? Dev to selfish hai, Dev to nikal jayega, paise banana chahta hai, itna charge kar raha hai, and guess what? You get influenced. You get influenced. And with this, there's one important thing I want you to remember. If you want to gauge somebody, don't gauge somebody by what they say, not even their action, not their teaching, but one aspect to gauge is intention. Intention. If the person's intention is right, and if you feel the person's intention is absolutely genuine, has been very transparent, very open, then all the things which you are cooking up, you have to communicate. If the person's intention is wrong, usko kuch bhi bolunga ya kuch bhi bolungi, the person will take it negatively, or otherwise, probably you're in the wrong place with the wrong person. But if you know in your heart, deep down in the heart, the person's intention is always right, then all the other things can be sorted out. But the intention is not right, nothing will work, okay? It's just because my intention coming here is to show you what is right and what is wrong, because let me tell you, a lot of you are still learning a lot of things. You're still learning a lot of things. And these things you will understand after a few years. Some people, these people who are in set 3, they'll understand after a few years. But guess, here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I don't have a lot of patience and energy to cater to negativity. I really am bad. I repel of negativity big time. Whether it's even if my family members, I cut them off because I don't want to be infected. Either you change and you become positive and come to me in my life, or you're out of my life. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Some people I've already repelled off. Right? यही होता है ना, अपने आप को जहर अपने आप को ही खाता रहता है. दूसरे इंसान को कुछ नहीं होना है. The other person, nothing will happen to the other person. But because of वो जो जहर हम पालते हैं खुद के अंदर, you only die because of that. And I could have easily ignored all this, and I could have easily, batch 1 is over. I don't really care. Let me go and focus only batch 2, batch 3, and to see what this happened. I know this has happened, that the batch 1s some of the people have infected those disease in batch 2 as well. Those things have infected in 1 crore coach as well. A lot of people think that Ron Malhotra is, I'm not able to connect with Ron Malhotra. Maybe he's not this, that. How can you say all that? Your coach, your mentor is learning from Ron Malhotra, and you're saying that Ron Malhotra is not a great, guy, or I'm not able to connect with the person, I'm not able to learn with the person. It's not practically possible. If I would have gone back at that time and I would have tried to explain that person would have thought, Arey, Dev ko to apna pada hai, Dev to is looking after money. But do you even know that there's so many people, I do not even get paid till now. And there's so many people who paid, payments so late. And I've been so much, giving the leeway. What? If that is what they would have been, you would have probably not been here. A lot of people would have not been even in the community. But guess what happens? There's some of those people get infected by the negativity, and they also start talking and just getting into it unknowingly. ये नहीं देख रहे हैं देव ने कितना लीवे दिया है, पैसा भी नहीं भरा है, उसके बाद you talk negative shit as well. I mean, this is ridiculous. Honestly, it's not going to make any difference to me. It's not even going to hurt my bank balance now. I've made enough money and I know how to make money. There are enough people out there who understand that there is somebody who's helping people. I've proved myself by creating people from 9 to 5 and helping them to build their business around passion. Yes, it's their effort, but effort alone does not pay. Okay? You see, how many of you believe that your life is totally different than what it was before? Just give me a yes in the chat box. If whatever I'm saying, if it's making sense, you feel that your life is totally different than what it was before you met me. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Now, again, some people would have already started business, started making money. Some people will get there eventually. But one thing is for sure, the way you were from the thought process, you cannot be the same right now, because you've learned so much, you've grown so much. But now it's up to you whether you take that learning, you've learned all the fundamentals. By the way, I've taught you some things. I've learned the hard way, but when somebody gets this thing, parosa milta hai na, people don't value it, right? I have taken so many risks and I've learned those things the hard way, and I've given you the platform and given you this knowledge and strategies that if you're not making money right now, it's okay. You will make it next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, but whatever you learn right now, it will not go away. I mean, unknowingly you'll think that, I don't see the return on investment, because a lot of people associate the return on investment based on the monetary value, but they don't understand. But everything cannot be monetized right away. You got to have patience. You got to have persistence. You got to take massive action, and eventually things will happen. The things what I've taught you, most of the people don't even know, right? Why do you think people like Ron Malhotra reached out to me to collaborate with me? Why do you think there's one more trainer? I will not name that person right now. Here's what he said. 10 years he's been in the business. He struggled, he grew, took the company to multi-crores, fell down, again grew. Why do you think the person came to me? Say, you know what, Dave, what you've achieved in 2 years, what we did in 10 years, you've been able to do in 2 years in your branding and positioning. Why do you think people like Mobe from online, millionaire summits, why do you think that he is bringing his traffic and helping me to do a joint webinar to bring people to the Passionpreneur Summit? For sure, I would have done something right. Okay. And all the things which I've done right, I've taught you all those things, all those secrets, and not kept anything within. So if you learn what I've learned in 2 years in short period, and if you implement, how can you fail? The only way you can fail is because of your belief and your mindset, that the cheap thought process that gets inflicted. And there again, the epicenter of this is probably one person or maybe 2 people. I don't know. Right? But the problem is you let other people infect you with that shit. and ignore all the good things people have done. Thank you. Thank you, Atiji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jashwant. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. And at the end, your quality of life equals quality of communication. What you communicate to yourself and how you communicate with others and who you communicate with is what's going to define how successful you will be in life. I decide to hang around with people who are super positive. Okay. So it's not that I'm ignoring you guys, and I stayed away from Passionpreneur WhatsApp group because there was some negativity and I cannot handle negativity. Either I'll switch off from that group or that thing. I'll be on my own. Rather, I be on my own. Okay. So that one, people is one of the environment. The second is your videos, books that you surround yourself with. Okay. Make sure that you have that conducive environment and cut those loser negative people who just bitch and moan and whine about other people. I don't want those people in my life. I just cut them off. Okay. Yeah, that's how you have to be. You have to be very ruthless, that don't let any negativity influence you. Yep. And you know what? Since we're talking very open, and here's what I've observed: the people who are in 1 crore coach, who are not in Passionpreneur, they're so grateful that I'm their mentor. They're so grateful. I'm really surprised. I'm really shocked. What have I done for them that I've not done for Passionpreneur? And yet people talk shit. Yet people have so much of negativity, and yet they influence the people who want to grow in life, and people even get influenced because of them. Okay. You don't believe me? Just now, as we were doing the session, I got this message and I was smiling, right? Okay, look at this. I'll not show you the name. Oops, where did it go? I don't know if you can see. This is from 1 crore coach. Okay. I'm like really surprised that despite doing so much, it sometimes it really hurts, by the way. Okay. It hurts when you give your heart and soul to people and you genuinely want to help them. They come back and backbite and talk and bitch and moan. I mean, really feel bad. Okay. But then I separate myself. I said, what's the difference between me and others then? That if they're bitching and complaining and moaning, here's what I do. I just think of those things, something positive about them that they did. Once upon a time, they probably were good to me. Now they're probably backbiting and doing shit. It's okay. They did this, that, this. Then what I learned from NLP, I say, you know what? God bless them. I send the positive blessing to them and I move on. And that's the reason why I'm still getting blessing from 1 crore coach. Reason why 1 crore coach people are grateful is they understood that what we are teaching is valuable. If they're not growing is because of their, action, not because, they were on is not teaching. I'm sharing this thing here and here, but this is what I was talking about, right? Because I was too personal with a lot of people and I was engaged with them, they come back and do this. And I told you about the character, right? The real character shows up when you're down. That's the first part. The second part is the real character shows up when you start getting success. And either way, you will go down. Either way you go down. The character to me is the most vital and important aspect. Make sure you have the right character. Okay. If you commit to something of doing something, whether it's money or time, make sure you do that. Okay. It's your relationship with yourself, not anybody else. Be true to yourself, be true to your character. Okay. And I'll share one more incident with you guys. Talking about money, right? I'm still in Danlock inner circle, right? High ticket sales, inner circle. Guess what? Every month I'm paying $200. Honestly, inner circle is most 90% for people who know it from HTC. Jnanish is there. For people who know HTC, is about how you can close for influencers. That's what they teach. Guess what? It's nothing to do with me now because I'm not closing for influencers. But yet, I still follow my commitment, which is to pay every month. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm great. I'm great. I'm doing it for myself. That I committed to Dan Locke, Sifu. I enrolled for the program. He gave me the installment option. My commitment was the full amount. If I drop out, it was my decision. If I quit here right now, what signal am I sending to my subconscious mind? I'm sending the signal to my mind that I can quit. I can quit and I can get away with that. So what happens? The pattern starts to build. You know what? I quit there. Kuch nahi hua. It's okay. I can quit here. I become a quitter. My character gets damaged. And guess what? Is the character what matters? Is the character which makes you successful. It is not the success that builds your character. Mind it. I repeat, is the character which builds your success. It is not the success that builds your character. In fact, when you get success, your character, real character shows up. Nothing happens. So I said, I'm going to stay committed. I still will continue to pay Dan Locke, whatever it is. It is my commitment, right? But the problem is, a lot of people, in One Crore Coach or any other program, not only they quit on themselves, they do not quit me or on anybody. Let's talk about Passionpreneur. Not only they quit on themselves, right? But the problem is, they did not even feel guilty about it, right? They did not even feel guilty. That clearly shows. See, this guy is calling me from my Wipro days. He was one of the manager Wipro days. So everybody's coming back and appreciating and all that. A lot of colleges reaching out to me. A lot of Nepal things happening. Good things happen. You know why? Because you're true to your character. Your intent is right. When your intent is right, all this negativity and all the people talking about bullshit and nonsense, right? It'll all shade away. It'll go away. And I don't really care. They probably will be successful in their life in their way, but it will not matter. Okay. But if you're here today and if you're listening to this entire thing, I hope you understood the point that I'm trying to make, right? I hope it was valuable. And I just wanted to come here and share my genuine and authentic feeling with you guys, because you will become coach. You will become mentor if you have not become one, or you probably are one. Whatever you're doing right now in your life, you will get the same thing and you will not even know what is pulling you down, right? A lot of people think that, it's a cakewalk, entrepreneurship. It's not. There's so many things people don't even understand. The things that you have to go through to become an entrepreneur, to start your business. Okay, there are a lot of things people will get to know pretty soon. Okay, if they don't know right now, they will get to know pretty soon. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that was what was written. I'm blessed to have you as my mentor, right? Thank you for being there for me. Right? This is what the person said, right? Reading this person of influence, 30% done. I'm so glad you asked me to read this, because my respect for you has gone quadrupled, right? And then I'm blessed to have you as my mentor. That's what was written. Okay. Yeah, the character builds your success. Success doesn't build your character. Great. So here's my humble request, okay? all the negative people or negativity that you feel in the environment, in Passionpreneur especially, either you tell them that don't spread this negativity, or you talk to me directly that this is what is happening. Okay, don't try and sort this thing out internally, because this will keep spreading. As a family, if we don't unite together, nothing is going to change. And as I said, we are as strong as one team, right? One family, one world, right? So I truly believe in that. Okay, I truly believe in that. And a lot of people have seen the journey of us together, and especially the PPMT. I'm saying this, I'm going on record again. You will see PPMT going to be really, really successful. Okay, a lot of people will regret. I know a lot of people want to join, but you will join for sure, because of your character, because of the action that you show. You will join. It's just a matter of some time. Okay, but yeah, we will make PPMT really, really successful. It's already successful. You have no idea what I'm doing in the background. Amen, amen. Yeah, that's true. People don't realize that they're actually in touch with negative people, because they're in that zone. So realize immediately, right? The communication, realize immediately. Observe the pattern. Okay, observe the pattern. What is happening? Is this conversation empowering me, or is the conversation making me feel bad and negative? Are we talking some negative things, or is it really helping me to grow? You got to decide that. So be it. Yes. All right, that's all from my side. Thank you so much. I know there is more than 1 hour, but this was a very, very important lesson. And whatever happens, it happens for good, because when these things happen, you learn and you grow. And this probably made me to understand people better, right? Yeah. All right, that's all from my side. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you for all the love and heart that you have shared with me. Continue doing that, and I also do that. And for people who are in Kandala, let's rock, man. Let's rock tomorrow. We're gonna meet and have amazing, amazing time. For people who are not gonna be there, we will miss you. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, let's party. Sandhya's special day tomorrow, huh? We know it. All right. Good. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Good night. Take care.